Hello, folks, and welcome back to my channel, Finnyfella Trader. Just thought I'd do a wee quick rundown of today's trade on GU and take you through what I was thinking and why I traded and the result. So we'll just start straight away with the daily. I'm not gonna fitter about too much of this. We'll try and get through it pretty quick and just let you know what's going through my head whenever I'm trading and what I'm thinking. So if I'm looking at this daily chart here. I already know the markets came up and taken out these highs, and I do believe it's going to come up to this area here. Main reason being is this. Just by looking at the fib quickly, this was the 50% equilibrium of this range from here to here, and it's also the daily order block. So by daily order block, I mean from this candle here, you can see the market's pushed up. So that was the retracement before the impulse. I've also marked here the weekly low. So this week, right now, this is the high of the week and the low of the week that's been printed. So if I think about it, the first 2, 3 days of the week, the market usually heads one direction, and then the next 2 days, maybe even one day, it goes the other direction pretty quickly. So that's why I just like to mark the weekly high and weekly low after Tuesday or Wednesday, if I think it makes sense. So once it came into this 50% equilibrium on the daily order block, I thought to myself, yes, then maybe this is the weekly low, and the market will come up to take out this weekly high and continue up into taking out this high, which also runs into this fair value gap. So uh, go down into the 4 hour. It's a chart. Surprisingly, something I don't look at that often is the 4 hour. I won't spend too much time at it, but I will definitely have a quick look at it and make my decision from there. If this breaks this high and this high, then on the 4 hour, then that's a good indication that the market is going to continue up into these highs. Excuse me, take them out and continue into here, which was the daily fair value gap. So I'll break it down into the 1 hour. Again, the 1 hour is not something I trade on, but it gives you a better picture, a better idea of what you're looking at, and it gives you an idea of what to expect. Maybe that's going to come next, putting probability in your favor. So for me, in the 1 hour, this to me is the 1 hour buy side liquidity where the market is going to want to run up into, and this also. So I had these marked out, and you'll see in a smaller time frame, I actually had another buy side liquidity marked out. But looking at this, the weekly high to the weekly low, like this range from here to here, from here to Wednesday, Monday to Wednesday, has been pretty much all bearish. And here is where I believe we might see a market, go bullish from here on, especially since this high was broken. It came down in here, it hit the 50% equilibrium in the daily order block, which is that line going across here. And the market reacted well off that. It's a good bullish candle right here. Again, a good bullish candle. And it took out this high, this high, this high, and made this new high. And as you can see live, it's actually being broken right now. So this will explain to you why I actually took a short here once I get down into the smaller time frames. But I wasn't expecting to hold it long. It just sort of made sense to me at the time. So we'll go down in the 15 minute. Now, this is where it gets a wee bit more technical or complicated, should I say, but it's not really that complicated when you get your head around it. So here we have the London kill zone, the London Open. Well, I like to do 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. That's New York time, or that would be 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. London time. And I was looking at these lows here originally, this low and this low, and I was looking at this sell side liquidity too. Now, when the market came up and didn't take out this buy side liquidity, on the London Open and the Asian, I thought, right, we'll maybe see a retracement down in here, took out these lows, and eventually took out these lows. And the market started to fluctuate here. So it did. It started to bounce about a bit and, you know, consolidate. So I thought, we might see an impulse up in the market now. And I also marked this here as sell side liquidity for my target into this trade. So just ignore this wee bit for now. I'll move it down into the 5 minute. So here we have the 5 minute, and I'll give you a reason why I didn't enter any trades here. So at half eight, we had the jobless claims, in the US market, which is here. This half eight. So I like to wait till after the news is released, because I don't want to gamble. I have no interest in gambling. Like, the market could spike or whipsaw, and next thing it could head off in the direction you thought it was going to anyway. So this is why the market was consolidating here, because it knew that news was going to break out. I'll just mark this up too, that's the 8 o'clock opening, London, or sorry, New York. This is the New York kill zone. So the market did start to shift up, and just before the opening, it sunk a little, and then it pushed up heavy before the actual news. But at the same time, as I say, I was not willing to enter a trade before half eight, before I heard what the news was. But when I seen that it had come and taken out these equal highs in this candle here, I decided I was going to go down to the 1 minute. Remember, this line here is the buy side liquidity. These equal highs here, and these equal highs here actually. And the market run up pretty quick. This is the half eight news. So you can see it whipped down a bit. This candle whipped down a bit and then continuing on its way up. Took out this buy side liquidity. And originally, just to go back, to go forward, I have 5 minute fair value gap over here, and I'll temporarily mark it out just so you see what's going through my head at the time. We have a fair value gap here. Template on the 5 minute clock. So whenever that came running up in here, took out this buy side liquidity, run up into the fair value gap, but didn't close above it. I excuse me. I thought, you know what, I'm going to maybe start looking for a break of structure. Now, I was aware of this buy side liquidity because it's pretty obvious, and the market has just taken it out slightly. But I was looking for a temporary sell, believing that the market, if it breaks structure on the 1 minute, I am going to start to look for sells. So again, this fair value gap. Just remember this blue candle here. This is an order block. From my knowledge, this is an order block. And I decided to say, whenever I enter a trade, if I enter a trade, this order block here is going to be the highest I'm prepared to let the market go before I close the trade and admit that maybe I was wrong. So that this mark over here actually represents that candle's high. So that's just why that wee line's marked there. That is indicating to me that is the top of that bearish order block on the 1 minute. And I didn't want the candle to go any higher than that because of this buy side liquidity at rest here that I've marked in this green dotted line, which I hope you can see okay. So what was I thinking then? Market comes running up, takes out this buy side liquidity, runs into fair value gap, and then it starts breaking down. It makes let's say a higher low here and runs up into a fair value gap here and then breaks down again. So once I seen this break structure, I really wanted to see this one broke before I entered a sell, but at the same time, I I'm doing all right at trading at the minute. I'm up. I was up 7.7%. So I thought, what? I know it's slightly early, but I'm willing to take the chance of if this break of structure goes, I'm going to look for a quick sell, not thinking that the market's going to go down, drop much, but just to give me enough to get a decent trade for the day. And I was kind of expecting it to go bullish and take out the highs you can see in the higher time frame. But I thought, what, the possibility here of getting a quick trade and that being it. So when that structure was broken, it came down. I looked at this fair value gap here in the 1 minute. And I also looked at this bullish order block and this bullish order block. So when the market raced up in here, and I moved pretty quick, so I got a better entry than I had originally hoped for. I was going to enter here, just at the low of this fair value gap. But the market moved up pretty quick, and I entered on this candle. My usual, I will actually show you. I like to hide it just until I get to the point where you can see where I entered. Now, yes, I done my usual 20 pips stop loss, and I decided I was going to use this as my first target. Not this. I wanted to see this broke, and if it broke that, I did expect it to at least come down to here. So when the market run up into here, I entered on this fair value gap. As you see, it came up into this order block, and it started to melt a little. Nothing quick, nothing too fast. And in my head, even though I have 20 pip stop loss, I didn't want to see this line broke, which if you remember, over to the left is that 1 minute bullish. Sorry, is that 1 minute order block. Sometime I'm going to get rid of this cough, I promise. But the reason I didn't want to see that broke is because I knew this buy side liquidity was here, and I thought the market may come back up for that. And what it has, it's came over by a few pips. Anyway, the market went into slight drawdown for not very long, like 4 pips at the most drawdown before it started to melt. Now, whenever I seen this structure broken as well by this candle here, even though this retraced, I wasn't worried at all. Not really. I just wanted to see. I was expecting a little retracement there, and I was expecting this here to be broken. But of course, expecting what exactly is going to happen is two different things. But just to mention, once this broke this low here, I did put my fib on, and if you can see, the top just tapped nicely in the 0.705 area, which is a great place to enter trades. Um, that's what just it gives you a depth of how far to expect the market to come into. And if you notice, it closed here. These two candles here closed below this 6.18 and in the fair value gap. So that gave me more confidence to expect the market to go down. Again, as I say, if I had to come up in this here, I was closing it. I wasn't interested, or at least if it closed above this, I wasn't prepared to lose my full 1%. So the market, took a few minutes. Just to give you an idea. So it took 37 minutes for the market to actually hit. This wasn't my take. This was my, close to trade target. This was my, I'm going to take partials here. So it took at least 80% off the table whenever the market came down, broke this structure. And this is what I used. These equal lows is what I used to take partials. Now the reason again I took partials early is because I did expect the market to continue long. I'm not afraid to take, short term trades into retracements, even against the best. Um, if it makes sense, it has to make sense. You can't just make stuff up yourself. So the reason I took this is partial. It's because I want to take most of it off the table, move my stop loss to entry, and then I was going to hold the trade for the sell side liquidity. Like there's loads equal lows here really, and I was expecting the market to maybe if I was wrong about the best, I was expecting the market to come down and at least take out this, and that would have been what I would have held on to on stop loss at entry. So just to revert back, it ended up I 1 to 5 trade. I am up. I'd have to double check, but I will double check. But I'm up another 1.5%, and going more importantly, finding consistency in the market. That's the hardest part about trading. Say anybody can hit buy or sell, but it's finding that consistency and that understanding of the market and how it moves and where it may be going to, and the likes of retracements, like when's it going to retrace or why it's going to retrace or the how far you think it's going to retrace. To say it's virtually impossible to say I'm going to be right 100% of the time, because that's just a complete and utter lie. It's impossible to be right 100% of the time, especially in this here. So you have to, I guess the point I'm trying to make here is you have to pick your battles and pick your targets and not overreach. Like if I had said no, I'm going to hold on to this sell side liquidity here. I'm going to go for a big monster trade. This is what I came back up, and I would have closed the trade out, or else I would have hit my stop loss. And it looks like it's just going to continue on to the higher side buy side liquidity now. So if you're going against what you believe to be the best, don't try and be a hero. Just try and pick something realistic, something that makes sense to you. And if the market tells you a different story in the middle of that trade, I would definitely say shut it. Now there is points where you have to realize the difference between your fear and what's making sense. Don't complicate or don't get it mixed up what fear is and what making market sense is. As I say, this wee line to me makes market sense. All because of one candle over here. All because of this order block. I call it an order block because the market moved away swiftly after it printed. So why would it come up any higher? There's no fair value gaps up in here. There are only fair value gaps down in here and an order block there. So for that market to come up any further, why would it come up there unless I was wrong about my direction? So when it gave me that opportunity to take partials here, I took it. And this is exactly why. Because it's against the best. What I believe to be the best. And this is a sensible exit. Now I know I say I always do 20 pip stop loss because I'm learning too, and I believe I'm always going to be learning. My goal is to just keep getting better and better and better to be a ridiculously good trader. That's my mission. And there's never gonna be a day I'm gonna say I know everything. Never. I just want to keep getting better. Like I want to enter a trade here, down here for long. It's going to be a nice big 3-1, 5-1 all the time. Instead of holding out for 1-1s or 1-5s, but again, you have to start somewhere. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I will show you market execution, so you know, not bullshit. As you can see, it did enter on this candle, and I took my parcels down here. Now, this is where I had my break even to. So once I took parcels here, I didn't think I used this here as my break even because again, the market, if it's going to push through this now, it's just going to continue up. And I did have it. I did put my stop loss down to here originally. I have to admit, into profit. I thought, I'm going to leave it a little breathing room, and what's the harm in breaking even, and possibly the market going further south before continuing bullish. So that is my trade today. That is the 12th of the 8th. Or sorry, the 8th of the 12th. See, in the UK and Ireland, it's not like America. We do our day, month, then year. I think you used to do month, day, and then year. So this is the 8th of September 2022. And as you can see, closed parcels on this. I moved my stop loss to entry, and it just punched through a little bit, so minus £6. My account now went from 70, so we're starting 70 down here. We're now sitting at 76,257 and 22p. That is 9%, I believe. Yeah, it would be probably over 9%, is it? Look, bear with me. I'm going to do a wee quick bit of maths here. 6 to okay, 8.9. So we'll say 9%. My account is up, and literally that's all the trades have done is fitting on the screen here now. And I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty good. Like if I was on a live account, I'd be pretty happy right now. But obviously, keep your feet in the ground. Don't get carried away, because I do believe live money is going to be a bit different, like psychologically, to handle. And I do think of this as live money, because I found even on paper trading, I hated losing, and I hated getting it wrong, and I hated to see the red. And I think that's a good thing at the same time, because you actually have to treat it like it's live money. You do. Or else you're just going to willy-nilly enter trades and just gamble. You know what I mean? It's not gambling. You have to, if you understand the market, I truly believe, especially from seeing traders that have an edge, they don't just have an edge. I think their edge is market understanding. Like, if you know where the market is going, and you can pick that time to enter, then that isn't by luck. That is by definition. You know exactly what you're doing, and you know that, okay, now and again I'm going to lose, but ultimately I know I have market understanding. I understand what's going to happen within reason. Within, like, I know what's putting the possibilities in my favor rather than against me, and I know when to enter and what to look for. That takes a lot of time, though. Like, I'm trading 2 years really. I really should check when I start trading, but I think I spent the first year and a half learning absolute trash, just the same crap over and over again. I guarantee there's somebody listening to this video who's thinking the exact same thing right now. They're listening to the same crap over and over again, thinking that there's something wrong with them, or why can everybody else get it but I can't get it? And the truth is that those that really do get it have spent years learning it. You can't just learn it overnight. And we're lucky in a sense, and I'm lucky in a sense, and I thank God for it, that there's people out there that have learnt and went through hell to literally show us how to trade. It won't save you from the dark days, the absolute. No, I'm not going to say stress because I don't really stress, but the days of like questioning yourself will always be there, but it will save you time. It would save you time because you're not spending 6, 10 years wondering what the hell is buy side liquidity. I didn't see that before, or why does the market move this way? Like, if somebody's giving you why the market moves, then you start to see the market in a different way. And if you've noticed, I have never ever used an indicator on this here. I don't even know they have. Like, I used to have indicators, my scripts. I don't have any favorites, no nothing. You know, I don't give a shit about any of these indicators. Not fucking one. And believe you me, I have went through. I done Bollinger Bands and RSIs and all that. It's trash. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. Maybe people just understand it and I don't. It's part of their age, but I don't need. I feel like I'm early days, remember, but I feel I don't need an indicator. My indicator is what the market is telling me. This is as simple as this. 15 minutes. We'll just get rid of this here. There's buy side liquidity. That's where the market's going to run. It wants to take out this high and possibly come down and take out these lows. Or else it's going to take out this buy side liquidity. Or it's just going to continue up and take out this buy side liquidity or this buy side liquidity. But until the market tells you otherwise, then that tells us that is your indicator. That is telling you, like, that's not to say in the future the market knows there is sell side liquidity here now. It knows there's sell side liquidity here now. So whenever the market changes its direction, these are all going to be areas that you're going to aim for. Like, I'll go to one day. I'm putting off these executions, so clean this up a wee bit. Right, so the market now, to me, it's wanting to take out this. Look at these equal tops here and over here. And if it wants to go, it's going to go up into here, here. And if it starts to break these lows, then these areas here are our targets. Here and here and here. And I want to have them all marked out because I don't want to make an absolute mess and confuse people. But if you know where the market's going to go, and I plan to, in the future, whenever I have the right to teach, whenever I have the right to show somebody how to trade, I'm going to make my own version of my understanding of the market. Now, my understanding of the market, as I say, comes from ICT. And I have learnt from other traders, but the one stands out to me is ICT. Like, and I don't want to be kissing his arse all the time. I don't think he wants that anyway. He doesn't come across like he's that sort of man at all. He just seems like a genuine, normal man who just figured it out. But there's stuff ICT says I don't understand. That doesn't. His language to me, some of it, not all of it, some of it, just his language and way he's explaining things to me doesn't make sense. But I know what he's getting at, if you know what I mean. It could just be the vocabulary. I'm not that, you know, I'm not that freaking smart. Like, I'm not a brain box or nothing. So, um, excuse me. It's like, I feel like I'm rambling here and on, but the reason I'm saying is in the future, I know I'm going to master this to the point where I can happily live off it because I do not have quit in me. There is no such thing as quitting me. I will keep going till the bitter end until the breath is out of my lungs. That's how I know I'm going to make it, and I absolutely love this. I love it. I think about it first thing in the morning, think about it last thing at night. I dream about it. I make plans for the future of it. Uh, and of course, teaching is something I want to do in the future because I feel like if I learn this, it's my duty to try and help somebody else learn it because I have come from nothing. Like, nothing. And I mean, there's stuff about me I don't tell even my wife. I don't tell them because I'm not that sort of fella. I don't wear my heart on my sleeve in that sense. I just deal with it. But I know there's somebody else out there, it could be a man or woman, sitting there dealing with stuff on their own. Same as me, doesn't tell anybody because that's how I deal with stuff. I just meet it head on my own. But I just needed somebody to take me by the hand and kind of, or just grab me by the shoulders and turn me in this direction and say, Finny, that's the way to go. Now go on and do it. Figure it out. But if you go down that road there, that's wrong. If you turn and just take a wee slight turn that way, then you're going to be good. And so when I say I come from nothing, I mean nothing. So I feel like, and I'm not trying to top any art trader out there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that somebody might resonate with me and say, I want to learn off him and I want to change somebody's life that way. I want to help them like I have been helped. Because that to me is that to me, and again, I am a holy person. Like, I believe in Jesus Christ and God and all. So I just believe that part of our life is don't feel bad about making money, don't feel bad about living your life to the full, but it is your duty to help other people. It's your duty to do good in this world before we go. And if that means spending the rest of my life helping other people, then that's what I'm going to do. So, not to jump the gun, I know I have a ways to go, but I know I will conquer this. And I know that I'll be coming back to help other people to conquer their dreams too. Because maybe somebody just finds me a wee bit easier. Maybe not. But I hope the videos is helping people. I hope the chats is helping people. And I'm literally one trade away from what would be a challenge past. So looking at the paper trading, my biggest drawdown was, well, there's 67940, right? So we'll just say over 2,000. Say you're doing a 70 grand challenge, and if you're going FTMO, you're allowed the biggest drawdown is 5% one day and 10% overall. Um, and that the biggest drawdown here, sorry, is two, and we'll just say two. So it's not even close to the 5% yet drawdown, and I'm 1% away from passing the FTMO challenge. And also, if you're doing, like, there's other prop firms out there that are, you're allowed 12% drawdown and 8% profit target. So I've already technically passed, you know, other challenges really. And the proof's there in front of you. And yes, it is paper trading, but I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not, yeah, it's going to swear to you you're going to be a hell of a trader and you're guaranteed to make money because nobody's going to do that. Uh, we are all responsible for our own trade and we're all responsible for money we make and money we lose. So if you lose money, that's your fault. If you make money, that's you that done that. Nobody else hit the button for you. And if you're spending hours and days and weeks and months, day and night trading, trying to learn trading, then I would not like to think that eventually you couldn't make it. Because everybody else says, oh, not all traders make it, but that's people who quit. I've talked about this before. That's people who quit trading won't make it. Those people that are obsessed with love it and love it. I like to think it brings me comfort to think that if you're obsessed with it and you love it, you have to love it. You have to love it. There's no other way about it. You have to love this. And if you love it and you're willing to learn from your mistakes, then I think it's inevitable. The thing is, though, there is only 1% of people trading that will actually do it because the other 99% quit. Those 1% that don't quit, in my eyes, are the ones that do eventually make it. So don't be the quitter, be the 1%. Go through hell and back and realize that just because you lost a lot of trades doesn't mean you're a bad trader. You're just maybe in a learning phase. You're maybe listening to absolute trash out there, which is dime a dozen, and you're going to you're going to figure it out if you love it. If you don't love this and you're listening to this right now, shut down the videos, turn off Trading View or whatever whatever platform you use, and forget about it because you're wasting your time. You're gambling. You have to be sitting at a desk at work thinking about the markets as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't know any trader that tell you they're not obsessed with, oh, I don't sit in front of the screen all day. I guarantee they're sitting thinking about it though. I guarantee you. Now, I guarantee you they're not sitting moping over a lost trade or a trade they should have got more money out of. Guarantee you they're not. They're just thinking of, how could I improve? Like, how could that have been a better trade? And that's what trading's about. It's just about improving. Like this here, for just an example, to lose the first trade always knocks me for six. And if you look, the next one's like, 0.5% and 0.5% and then a wee bit more. Like, that was my confidence rocked and then crawling the back. And then, I could rock the yen, but I knew if I just stuck with it. And this trade here was a really good trade because that was my understanding of the market, got that trade. Nothing else. But you just have to learn to deal with these and learn to learn. Don't be an egotistical prick and think that nobody can teach you or you know everything because, again, you don't know everything. I don't know everything. But I'm willing, definitely. I am teachable because I know there's traders out there 10 times better than me right now. And I say right now because my aim is to not to chase them. I couldn't name a trader. I would never challenge a trader. Put it that way. I'm not interested in that. There. I just mean I just want to reach mad heights of this. I just want to be able to look back in 20 years and think, you know what, I'm up there with some of the best, and look around me and have proof of it. And that's probably what I love most about this trading, is that there is no limitations. There is no ceiling to how high and how far you can go. Every odd job I've done, I've spoken about this in the past, has bored me in the end to tears. It was soul destroyingly boring because I got good at it. Because I knew you couldn't get any better at it. Because there's only so many things you can do in certain jobs. This challenged me every single day. Um, yes, it is looking like the markets are looking more familiar, if that makes sense. So I can see things a little easier, but it still challenged me every day. Like as soon as I hit buy or sell, the challenge isn't over until I close that trade. Because my mind is constantly battling. Close it. No, leave it open. Go for further target. No, move your stop loss. Then that's just normal. But in the end, you will learn to control all that, and ultimately, hopefully, I hate the word hopefully. I'm not even scratch that. Hopefully, don't even think hopefully. Just know you're going to do it. If you're the 1% and you know in your soul you're the 1%, then you have my support. I believe those people that refuse to quit will eventually fulfill their dreams. So I'll leave it at that, folks. Sorry I rambled on a bit. I promised this was going to be a short one, but yes, stuff in my heart I have to get out, stuff I have to talk about. Because I know what it's like to be sitting at the other side of the screen and things just seem impossible. They're not. Remember, I was just a stonemason, bricklayer. And that's no insult to bricklayers and stonemasons, because some of the lads I work with on construction sites are beyond smart. Especially, and this is the thing that's lost in this world, common sense. Their common sense is through the roof of some of them boys. They don't need to know any of this here. You don't have to be an absolute genius. You don't have to be a university graduate and have a doctor's or PhD or master's or any of that to learn this. You just have to be teachable, swallow your ego and pride, have a bit of courage, and be a relentless SOB. And if you ain't any of them things, as I say, shut it down, forget about it. So I'll leave it there, folks. Thank you so much for listening. I know I'm talking to myself right now, but hopefully in the future I'll have a couple of subscribers, and this is proof that I have come from nothing, and I'm only beginning. I'm going to look back and laugh at these trades. I won't laugh at them, I'll respect these trades, because these are the trades, these are the days that make you the trader you're going to be. So take care, folks. Look after yourselves. It's getting close to Christmas, so I'm going to say Merry Christmas now, in case I forget. And those of you that don't celebrate Christmas, have a nice holiday, and take care of yourselves and your family. Much love. Finnyfella out.